Black Sabbath. The storm outside raged on, but the thunder never came. Lightning ripped across the sky, illuminating the gnarled silhouette of the old mansion Oswald now called home. He clutched a tattered leather-bound book in his trembling hands. It was a mistake to take it. He knew that now. The strange symbols on its cover seemed to pulse under his fingers, as if alive. Oswald glanced around the dim room. The ancient stone fireplace, dormant for years, suddenly roared to life, casting flickering shadows that danced like mocking specters on the walls. His breath caught in his throat as the air grew heavier, thicker, making it harder to breathe. Then he heard it. A low, guttural hum, rising from somewhere deep in the house. It was a sound that didn't belong, like the resonance of a massive bell struck underwater. Oswald froze. His instincts screamed at him to run, but his legs were rooted to the floor. The sound grew louder, more distinct, until it resolved into the unmistakable rhythm of footsteps. Slow, deliberate, heavy. "Who's there?" Oswald whispered, his voice barely audible over the pounding of his heart. No answer, only the footsteps. They stopped just beyond the doorway, shrouded in darkness, and then it emerged. A shadow, tall and foreboding, its form darker than the void itself. It seemed to absorb the light around it, a moving stain upon reality. Oswald staggered back. "What is this that stands before me?" he gasped, his voice cracking. The figure said nothing. Its presence spoke volumes, an oppressive force pressing down on Oswald's soul. The air seemed to vibrate with malice. Then, in a voice that was not a voice, more like the sound of the wind tearing through a desolate canyon, it spoke. "You summoned me." Oswald shook his head violently. No, I didn't. Liar," the shadow hissed, cutting him off. It raised an arm, long and spindly, pointing directly at him. Oswald's knees buckled under the weight of the gesture, and he fell to the floor. The room shifted. The shadows on the walls twisted into monstrous faces, their mouths opening and closing in silent screams. Flames erupted from the fireplace, their light illuminating words scrawled on the walls in a language Oswald couldn't understand. "You read the words," the shadow continued. "You opened the door. Now you will see." The room dissolved into a vortex of light and fire. Oswald screamed as visions assaulted him, twisting landscapes of molten rock, skies filled with swirling ash, and rivers of blood that carved paths through endless darkness. The figure in black stood beside him, silent, watching. "This is your future," it whispered. "This is what you chose." Oswald tried to deny it, but the memories came flooding back. The night he had stolen the book, the curiosity that drove him to decipher its strange, forbidden text. The words he had spoken aloud, thinking them meaningless. "Please, no, I didn't mean to," he cried. But the figure only laughed. The sound was deafening, like the groaning of the earth splitting apart. "You begged for power. You begged for answers. Now you will pay." The ground beneath Oswald cracked, glowing with an otherworldly red light. He clawed at the floor, trying to escape the widening chasm, but there was nowhere to go. The figure loomed over him, its outstretched hand reaching closer. "Oh, no, please, God, help me," Oswald screamed, tears streaming down his face. He felt the heat of the abyss rising, pulling him down, and then silence. The figure paused, its head tilted slightly as if considering something. "God?" it repeated, mocking. "You called for me. Your God will not answer." With a single motion, it plunged its hand into Oswald's chest. He felt a searing pain as his vision faded, the flames and shadows consuming him. When the villagers found the old mansion the next day, they discovered nothing but ashes where the house had stood. Among the ruins was a single, untouched object, a tattered leather-bound book, its pages blank. But as one curious soul reached out to pick it up, faint words began to appear, glowing red. "You summoned me."